Hi guys. So I wanted to get on here and show you a lot of the things that you see me tag in a lot of my videos. Normally what you'll see a lot of tags for Rachel Ray in my videos, even though the recipe that I'm making may not be specifically made um, by her. But the reason why I tag her is because a lot of the things I use are stuff that she's created. So what I want to do is I want to go through what I have lined up right here, and I will go through some of these with you. Um, are a lot of the tools that I use, starting out with the acacia wooden spoons. What I like about these, they're easy to clean. They don't warp. As you see, I'm scratching it with my thumb, and it's not like peeling or coming off like normal wood. I like the look of it. A lot of the stuff that she makes, one reason why I'm so like I don't want to say obsessed, but why I like cooking with her tools is that a lot of them are very unique looking. Starting with this last one, it's just kind of like I don't even know how to really use this, but I like this end right here because one of the things that you should know is that when you're cooking, you need to make sure that you're tasting along with your cooking. Check seasonings or whatever, and that is what this little end is for. Um, I use these a lot, not as often as I should, but I really like those. Next is her stand-up whisk. I really like this. I use this of quite a bit. And what I like about it is it stands. And so when you're done using it, if you need to use it again, it's standing up and ready for you. In the back, this is what I use for my kosher salt and my garlic and herb seasoning that I use in a lot of different things. It is salt free, which hence why I have the salt on top, which you probably see those along with the pepper mills. Now, one of these is actually for salt, but I don't particularly like using a salt grinder. So what I've done with these is the smaller one is white pepper. My taller one is black pepper. Okay, next down the road is my silicone tools and knives. One of the things that you probably see me use a lot is this little contraption. This is her double-sided microplane. Um, I think that this is one of the best things that she's ever made. I use it quite frequently. I've used them so much that I've actually replaced it quite a few times because I grate so much that I've dulled it, and that's it. It definitely holds up to its name. Um, but yeah, this is something that I use quite a bit. Next up is her nylon tools and her silicone tools. I really like this one. She's made this kind of concept, which is kind of cool. A lot of her stuff has this little notch on it, which she calls lazy. So it's a lazy ladle. So what this does is it just sits on the side of your pot. This one is a spoon, obviously. So you don't have to set the spoon if you're serving your foods on the stove, if you're serving it, you could just rest this on there and yeah, it keeps your counters clean and everything. So that was a really great concept that she came up with there. I'm not exactly sure she came up with it, but I think that that's cool. She's the first person that I've seen with it. So that is why I think that that is really cool. These can go up to 500 degrees. The handle is silicone, the bottom is nylon, so 500 degrees. Yeah, I think that that's great. Next up, we have the knives. These are Japanese stainless steel knives. They're very, very good. I've never had to sharpen it. And I can slice through an onion like butter. I think that these are probably one of the best knives that I've ever used in my life. I know she has another set out there that coincides with this one, but this is her chef knife. As you can see, she's branded it right there. Beautiful. This knife, I can never say the name of it. So it begins with an S, and I kind of use this one to butterfly chicken. It actually works the best for that. And then, of course, her little itty bitty baby paring knife. Love it. Okay. Next, last but not least, in the tool section, we have her tongs. I really love these tongs. They grab things so well. I like how they lock. Um, just hit it on the counter, boom. I mean, I don't know how much I can talk about tongs for, but These are, they have a really great grip, and they stay cool when it's on the side of your pot, that these handles don't get super hot. So that's what I like about these, because I am a klutz and I will burn myself. All right, next on our list of going down the rabbit hole of cookware, this is her new, I don't know if it's new. I've had this pot for about a year, and I've used it about 20,000 times. This is what she calls her nitro cast iron. I've never had any of her original cast iron. What I like about this is this one is her 6.5 quart Dutch oven. I have made many things in here, including really awesome pot roast. It gives it a great sear. It actually, and you can wash them like regular dishes. I do dry them on the stovetop, or sometimes I'll put them in the oven to evaporate the water. I don't know if you're actually supposed to season it, but I do, regardless of whether or not you're supposed to, because I clean them with a little bit of coarse salt and a little bit of innocuous oil that I rub on it to keep it lubricated and nice. And yeah, these are some of the most awesome tools that I've ever used. These awesome pots, they're really big, they're really heavy, and they definitely conduct heat very well. This is one thing that I have. I don't really have any of her dishes or serveware. That's going to come later on, but I do have this one. This is her 14-inch serving bowl. I think on her show she calls it a pasta bowl. Most of the time that's where she's putting her made pasta, and I don't particularly do that unless I'm having company, because who am I going to impress when it's just me and my husband at home? So we just eat from the pan, less dishes for me, since I do all of the dishes. I need to backtrack a little bit, because we were talking about cast iron. I said I don't have any of her original cast iron. That was kind of a lie. I just never had the skillet, but I do have this. This is her 5-quart Dutch oven cast iron. I use this all the time. This I love, and as you can see on the inside, I've used it 150,000 times, and look at how perfect that looks. I mean, honestly, like, that's amazing. This is something that I haven't actually had a chance to use yet. I haven't found a use for it, but I have it just in case. It's kind of something that I got for Christmas that I asked for. This is her big roaster with the rack in it. What I like about hers is that the rack is flippable. So, I mean, it still does not touch the bottom of the rack, but the rack is definitely reversible to maybe put something above, so that it's not sitting directly on the actual bottom of it to where something can burn and stick. Although this is a hard anodized version, so nothing is really going to stick to it. But yeah, it just does keep it clean. I think when I do use it, I'm going to wrap the handles, because the handles are actually really pretty, and I don't want them to start to turn brown from being in the oven. But I mean, cookware is going to look used after a few times. Next on the list is bakeware. So this pan right here came with one of my sets that I got. I actually liked it, but I wanted it to, I'm a weirdo, I wanted it to match. So that's when I started buying some of her bakeware. This is her 9x13-inch cake pan. I use this a lot for focaccia breads and stuff like that. I still want to get the loaf pan. I haven't gotten that yet, but that's on the next works. And then I also bought her set of 3 baking sheets. They are non-stick. I don't know if they're hard anodized, but I do know that they are non-stick, and they come in 3 sizes. And I actually think that these are one of the most perfect vessels that you can do for anything like cookies or breads, or what I use the biggest one for is I make my sheet pan fajitas on it, because it is massive. It's one of my most favorite and used baking sheets that I use. So I wasn't actually going to buy these because I'm not really a big baker, but after I used the one that came with one of the sets that I bought, I kind of knew that it needed to be part of the collection. It needed to be showcased. Next on the list is textiles. This is one of her things that I've made, or I've used. It actually took me a little bit of getting used to using it. For this reason, I do use them for a dish towel, but this is really cool. It is called what they call a mapine. A mapine is, from what I found out, is not a real word. I do use this. This one I used for pots and pans, hence why it's hanging on my wall, or for pulling things out of the oven. It is a towel. It is an actual towel with opposing pot holders in each opposing corner. So pulling stuff out, you keep your shirt clean while you're pulling out your pots and pans out of the oven. And it actually, these are a good grip when you're drying towels too. So these two pots, no, these two pots are what I call my babies. These two pots are what really made me start to really dive into the cookware that she has designed. And it is practical. Most people think that oval pots are weird looking. I think that they are elegant. I think they're sexy. And they are great. They are great conductors of heat. These two are what they call from the professional collection. As you can see, the pots, the handles are stainless steel. When the pasta is boiling, these do get hot, hence why I keep a mopine right here hooked up, just in case. I keep another one by my sink to dry dishes. So I never cross-contaminate and use one mopine for dishes and one mopine for... I don't use the same mopine for this two different things. One is for pulling out hot stuff, the other one is for dishes. But these, what she made these for, she said that they can go into a narrow space. And this one is 8 quarts, this one is 5 quarts. And she made it oval because pasta is long. And I am not Italian, but I will never break my pasta because I feel like the spirit of her will come and beat me up if I break my pasta. So I figure for the safety of my spirit and for the safety of any Italian that's ever watching some of the cooking videos that I make, this will save my life because I don't break the pasta. This one is also one of my babies. It is my 14-inch hard anodized professional. It gets used a lot and it still looks incredible. I mean, just look at that. Everything is still shiny. It does have a little bit of scratch wear on the bottom of it because I do shake, and I use this pretty much every day. Like I am using it tonight too. I haven't decided. But this is the one these 3 that you see with these silver handles are 3 of my most popular cookwares that I use in a lot of my videos. Okay, now we're going to get into what I like to call my everyday cookware, stuff that I use day in and day out. Now, I have 2 pans that are identical from 2 different collections. Actually, these are both from the same Create Delicious collection. However, this one is the hard anodized version and this one is the shimmer version. And I really like the shimmer version. It's beautiful. Like, I use it all the time. There are some scratches in it because, again, I do use my cookware a lot, but it just holds up. And this, even though this is not like a traditional color of a nonstick, it works. It's just beautiful. Now, the only thing, this one right here next to it, is the same 12.5 skillet, only in the hard anodized version. However, this one does not come with a lid, which that's okay. But I thought that I actually bought 2 sets of these. One of them was the smaller set, which comes in with this one. But I wanted to get this pan, even though I already had this pan. And one is because this is hard anodized, it's a great conductor of heat, and it also has the induction plate on the bottom, as does all of this collection. The only thing that I find kind of weird about these 2 particular pans, even though they're identical, is this lid does not fit on this one. It just doesn't. But it fits on this one. So, not a big deal. Whenever I want to use a pan with a lid, I'll go for this one. If I don't need one, I'll go for this one. Or vice versa. Like this one I can use without a lid, and it does the same purpose. I also wanted to point out that a lot of the things she makes is bigger than what you get in a normal pot set, because one of the things that she's known for is big sizes. Like me, I'm not a single person, so I am cooking for one other person. This is her 3-quart saute. These are her 12.5-inch sautés. Part of the same collection. Obviously, you could tell I use it quite a bit, and it's still holding up perfectly. It's a great, this one I use a lot for like 2 cups of rice. It definitely holds that. Sometimes if I'm making like rice on the side, that's what I definitely use these for. But like I said, this is what I use for my everyday cookware, and it is holding up fabulously. And we got saucepans now. Saucepans, this one is our 3-quart, 1.5, and 1. This one is just cute in case I just want to make like something just for myself if my husband's at work. This one is if I want to make something for 2 of us that requires a saucepan. And then we have the big baby here. This is the big 3-quart saucepan. This is amazing. I use this quite a bit, especially for like mashed potatoes, because obviously I'm cooking mashed potatoes. I can't cook them in this one or this one. This one is like the perfect size for 2 people. So that's why typically why I like this one. But this is why this pan right here is why I bought the second set along with the other 12.5-inch, because of this size of saucepan. Yeah, it's just amazing. All right, we're on to skillets now. We have an 8.5, 10.25. This is a 3-quart saucier. I don't know why that, well, I do know why, because it's beautiful, but this is a 3-quart as well. I also have done mashed potatoes in this one too. This is a 3-quart saucier pan with a lid. Very unique looking. I actually like this one a lot. It's kind of odd looking, which is kind of the reason why I like her stuff. This is my 8.5-inch. This is what I use typically to, if I want to make scrambled eggs for just myself, something for just myself. It is good to have. I know she's big on large skillets, but it's nice to have one small one. You know, a couple small ones just for yourself. And then you're probably seeing another large one. This is my 14.5-inch skillet. This one is one of my most treasured pans. I actually love this one a lot. It is one of my go-to pans when I cook. It's show-stopping, no scratches in it whatsoever, and I've used it a million times. That's a lie. This is actually my second one. My first one, I burned it. And the reason why I did that is because I tried to make a stir fry in it, and it didn't ruin the pan, but it just made an unsightly dark mark on it, and I just couldn't handle it. So I actually asked my brother for a second one, to replace that one, and I did donate the old one. So if one thing that I want to recommend that is you are getting new cookware, please donate your old cookware. It's definitely a good thing to like a food kitchen or something like that, because it is needed. There's still life in it, and there is still life in that other pan, but it just, for me, it was unsightly, so I donated it and got another one for Christmas. And we're on to ceramics. This is one of my most favorite things to showcase right now, because it is show-stopping. It is pretty. A lot of the things are the same color. I think there's a little bit of a difference between one she calls teal and one she calls marine blue. This one says teal. These are my little ramekins. I use these to measure out flour or something like that, or if I in my videos, like if I want to portion things out to make sure that everything is portioned perfectly, I typically use these or these. These are also, what are these ones? I can't tell what these ones are. These are 12-ounce ramekin, or 12-ounce au gratin dishes is what they're called. These are called ramekins. Next up is my bowls. These are my mixing bowls. I use these all the time. They've never let me down. She does make them in 2 sizes. I do have 2 sets. I'll get to those in a minute. This is her purple one. I think this is one of her first ones that she came out with. They come in a 1 and a 2 quart, so, with a pour handle right there to hold on to it, which makes it easy to pour into a pan, which I really like. All right, next is the other mixing bowls that I have. Same kind of concept, just more round. 1 and a 2 quart as well, just in a different color, because I'm crazy and I need the same color. There's no other explanation. Next is my oil cruets, and I just wanted to showcase that I do actually have some of her olive oil. It is actually really good olive oil. I use it quite a bit. It doesn't burn. It is still extra virgin olive oil, or as she calls it, EVOO. It actually doesn't burn. It's very forgiving, and it tastes great. I actually use this quite a bit, more than I do regular olive oil, although I still do use regular olive oil. Also, I have some of her balsamic drizzle. I haven't had a chance to use this yet. I found it in the States, and I picked up 3 bottles for no reason whatsoever. So as you can see, I have 3 colors. They go from dark to light, and I have a system for that. In my darker one, that's my extra virgin olive oil. That way, people know this is my regular olive oil, and then this is my innocuous oil. So this is canola oil in here. So what I've done to kind of give myself a little bit of an education on which oil I'm grabbing for: dark, medium, and then the lightest. So one of the things that she's also taught me in cooking is having a garbage bowl on the counter. Now, I do have 2, but one of them, this is my garbage bowl. This is my mixing bowl, because I don't technically have a bowl big enough for like mixing or letting bread rise, so that's why I do have 2. But yeah, that is something like you just throw your scraps in there as you're cooking, and then when you're done, you just dump the bowl out in the garbage can. And I also have her new double sink strainer. that she just recently came out with. Perfect. I love this. It holds a lot of pasta. I think it's 2 quarts. I could be wrong. But yeah, this is something that I drain my pasta in. I think it's beautiful, and it has the stay cool handles on the side of the bowl, or on the side, so that when you dump the hot pasta, these stay cool. Back to tools. These are actually 2 things I actually forgot about that I wanted to show you. This is our bench scrape. She said that she made it with sides so that when you're moving food into a pan, the sides will keep it from sliding up for the bottom of it, or the side of it. And I do have 2, again, because I'm crazy and I wanted the colors to match. This one came with something, or no, this one came with something, I think. Or maybe I just bought 2. I don't even know. Then I have my box grater. What I like about this box grater is it actually has a bottom in it that turns into a bowl and allows you to catch everything without making your counter dirty. It has a slicer side, coarse grade, julienne, and more of a finer grade. Let me open it up and I'll show you the inside. The inside does have a finger guard because I will slice myself like nobody's business. And then here's the bowl, and it just goes inside. All right, the last thing I want to show you are, these are what she calls her bubble and brown. I use these a lot. They are ceramic, they are stoneware. They're essentially non-stick. Like, I've never had to, I still grease them, but really nothing sticks. So I'll show you what I have here. This is my 1.5 quart oval baker. I also have it in, what is this one? 2.5 quart. Which these I use quite a bit, mostly for serving, honestly, or if I'm marinating something, I put them in these typically. Up here I have my round bakers. These I haven't really used a lot, but one thing I did use them for was I made cornbread in these, and they turned out really good. I don't know if you can use these on the stove top or if they're just bakers, but yeah, there's 2 of them. This one is a 2 quart. And I'm assuming the bottom is a 1 quart. There's only 1 lid though, so it is just 3-piece. And honestly, back to these, if I can't find a specific cooking use for them, they're great serving dishes. I think they're pretty. Next is her 9x12-inch baker. I actually got my mom this because she has a smaller stove, and I actually bought her this one too. This is her 9x13, but her stove is a little bit too small, so these handles that stuck out didn't really fit in her oven, and then this one turned out perfectly. They both fit the same amount of food, I think. I've made the same dishes in both with no issues. So this is, like I said, this is her bubble and brown collection. This is where I think it started for me. I think I bought the oval bakers first, was the very first, no, the marine blue EVOO bottles, the very first thing that I bought. And then it just blossomed from there. And from there, this is my whole collection. So I really hope you enjoyed this video of me explaining some of the things that I use. Because I had some comments that saying some of the stuff is really pretty. Where did I get it? RachelRay.com sells these items. A lot of it I bought open stock. Some of it I bought in sets. But yeah, just give it a check. Check it out and start cooking. It really made me start to cook more because you have interesting things to cook with, and it makes beautiful presentation. So pick these up. It really is a great investment. And thank you for watching, and have a good day.